Yeah, uh, Paladin. Um, yeah, I think with Paladin is yeah is good thing with Paladin is that you can choose different variation of champion. Everything from arrow shooter, gunslinger, X swingers and X throwers, magic, ice and fire, and all the things. There's a many variation of hero champions, and I think I don't really think somebody we really need is so important to compare Paladin to Overwatch all the time. I think this is not really a very big. I think you can play the both game and still like them both. I don't think like if you have Overwatch, you cannot play Paladin. Of course, like if you this like if somebody like more like sci-fi, play Overwatch. If somebody like more fantasy, Paladin. Of course, that I think is the biggest difference. Is some of them is fantasy, some of them is more sci-fi. But of course, the other also have fantasy in them. But there's more like sci-fi in the middle for Overwatch, and so on. And I think other thing I also think is for me, just from my opinion, I think the art style for the background and for the champions, I like more in Paladin, more the style, and I like in Overwatch. I think Paladin, for me, have nicer art style. That don't mean I say they have better graphic. Absolutely not. Overwatch, of course, is much more better graphic, but just with the pencil and so on, the design is more cartoonish in some way, and some like aquarelle color paint style. When you play, like some stages in the game have really like claymation, watercoloring graphics. It's a really nice. You really think you are in like some old school fantasy town, like especially this town when I'm playing now. It's very like old school fantasy style. So yeah, so I think it's much more in the forest. Like Paladin is much more you are in the magic forest and so on, and Overwatch is more like in sci-fi in the cities. So if you like old school fantasy, like really like medieval buildings, like Renaissance and all that kind of things, I think Paladin is the best choice. If you like this kind of thing, but if you like big cities, airplanes, like futuristic things, absolutely Overwatch. Like this, depend what you want the most. If you like fantasy, Paladin, sci-fi, Overwatch. So if you like the both, yeah, play the both. Is just I think for me, I think absolutely think Paladin have just in design cooler champions and Overwatch, just in the design way of the champion. I think is more. Yeah, it's like what I said before. It's much more. Yeah, I like more the way with the fantasy, like this kind of style of fantasy, like really like fantasy slash some way. Oh, of course, some of the heroes are absolutely sci-fi related or machine related, like the Green Rat or the other guy, the devil with the dragon guns, of course, but it's much more fantasy heroes, champions, much more that way in this game. So I really prefer more this filter, but the same style of game, but this filter is much more. I think if somebody just look at the art style and the theme of the game, I think there's big difference with this game and Overwatch. But if you just look at if somebody just look at the heroes, how the heroes work, some of them is gonna be very similar to Overwatch. So you can find similarity and not similarity, something different with both of the games, like and so on. And so on. And I don't know what of the game is much hardest to play. I think the most hardcore online gamers, maybe they are on Overwatch, or maybe I don't really know, and so on. And that and so on. Other thing with I think is with Paladin is I think it's nice. I think it's nice with Paladin is, of course, I think the stages, the battlefields in Paladin have very much. You can really feel the fantasy aspect to the game. You can really feel that is. Yeah, it's like many things of all of that thing is hard to say. Like, it's always interesting, like with how many different heroes they have in Paladin, how many they have, and all of them are different. Like it's a free game, and they can. That is a very big special thing. There's a free game to play. But they still have so many different variation of champions, like so many different variation of them, like really different weapons, different play styles, and it's very special to really to make so many of them, and still you can download for free. That is amazing. A game has so many things, like you really have many things just for free. Not like some games cost money, have lesser things and so on. Like so I don't think the good things is the variation of champions. That is good thing. The art style I like in the game, the art style. The bad and the good thing is you cannot switch a hero when you're in the game. I think this is good and bad in the same time. The other thing some people maybe think is bad, you cannot win, you cannot get blow crystals when you play. You have to buy with real currency. That maybe I think of course something is bad with that, because you have to, but you also have to, some people, we also have to understand, if you have a free game, of course not all things gonna be free. Of course the like the clothes and material, like clothes, gonna cost money, because if a game was totally free, 100% free, you cannot expect so many things. Like they really give us, like I'm not sure how many, but like 20 or 20 or 30 44 here champions, and you can play all of them free. You have to really people have to understand, because they have so many variation of champions, they have to get in some money for make them, of course. So of course I couldn't understand if people get really pissed if some of the champions was behind a paywall, but the only thing that is behind a paywall is the skins, like Valentine, Christmas, and all these kind of things. So that is not a bad thing. Like, if you really think about that, like Overwatch also have things behind a paywall, like skins. Or Overwatch costs money if you buy the game, right? Like maybe 500 and of 50 euro and all of these kind of things, or it's much lesser now, but they cost money. Like, you have to buy the game, then you have to buy skins, like DLC skins. In this game you can download the game, play the game, and buy skins. You save money because you play, or you just buy the bundle in some way. But of course, in that way, of course, no game is 100% free. Yeah, that is just impossible. You cannot have a game 100% free if you have so many variation of things. Yeah, so this is what I want to say in this video. I hope you like it. Leave a comment and so on. Yeah, bye.